It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
That's right, I'm back for this week's cup of coffee from Slumberland at the lake. It's Wild Will
and Uncle Chris.
And this week we're going to get some follow-up from last week. Man, what a week you and Nathan had.
Yeah, I tell you, a lot of big stories happening these days at the Lake of the Ozarks. A lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yeah, no one tells it better than Nathan Bechtold. Big shout out to him for filling in Jeff Vernetti as well, our state representative. And in this week's show, as I said, we're going to follow up from some of those stories, especially the Bass Pro Shop, biggest story maybe of the summer.
Yep.
Also, sad story, Eldon bowling alley caught fire and burned down. You see that?
I did see that. Very sad, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here, if they can rebuild that or where that goes.
That we've got to talk about upcoming hearing for Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton. Big summer for Cam Durnin. We've already been telling you about transferring to Mizzou. Plus, speaking of sports, hey, there's a new lawsuit that could jeopardize Missouri's effort to keep the Chiefs in the Show Me State.
Yeah.
That will give you a rundown on Cannonball Run, that and a whole lot more on this week's Cup of Coffee.
Up to 58% off list at the huge 58th anniversary sale at Slumberland. But hurry, it ends soon. These stylish sofas for just $5.99. These Lazy Boy reclining sofas just $9.99. These Ashley Furniture bed options for just $3.49. And don't miss this Sealy mattress for just $3.99. Plus totally free doorstep shipping and our 365-night sleep guarantee. Up to 58% off. The huge anniversary sale at Slumberland ends soon. Big deals.
A cup of coffee as we wake up, in the car, or right here on Lake TV with Will and Chris. Kind of like driving, we do it every single day.
But we shouldn't do it while distracted. Did you know that drivers who text are 23 times more likely to be in a crash? So keep your eyes on the road and always remember to buckle up and put your phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe message brought to you by Price and Randall Injury Attorneys.
Now back to your cup of coffee with Will and Chris.
Yeah, that's right. Always remember to drive safe, boat safe. And Uncle Chris, as you see, if you follow us on social media, you're in lake area happenings, Lake Expo a lot of times, but there have been more boat fires, dock fires, boats that have sank in the Lake of the Ozarks. And it's always good to be reminded to drive safe, boat safe, thanks to our friends at Price and Randall Injury Attorneys. And our first story this week, Friday last week, the Eldon bowling alley burned down. You see the video here, courtesy of Dave or Husky and Lake Expo reports, but that was quite a sight.
Yeah, it was. And then, so the Lake Expo put out a story, and they had a quote from the owners of the Eldon lanes, and they said, yes, bowling alley has burned down. We were closed. Nobody was in it. We are out of town, headed back now. We don't know what started it. We will post updates as we know them. And it looks like it's a total loss for the Eldon lanes. Friends of Lake TV, they were, Lake TV is on, partners with us, had Lake TV on in the bowling alley all the time there. So it's, it's really sad when you get one of those community, just the foundational community businesses there that go down. Hopefully they'll be able to come back.
Yeah, and if you follow them on Facebook, you alluded to their first post from August 1st. They put another one that night to the community. Thank you for your support through the years. We appreciate it. Please respect our privacy while we navigate through these difficult circumstances. And then on Sunday, you see another post there, and they asked to share some of the favorite memories they've had, and they started with one from about 10 years ago. You see that. And then they finally posted yesterday, good morning. We finally got some sleep today. We're making a plan for Monday, which was yesterday. For all of the vendors and creditors we have to call, we are doing okay. It just still feels unreal. Our hearts are full with all the love and support everyone has given. Now we wait on the insurance adjuster, and then we have a big decision to make. Those posts directly from the Eldon Lanes Facebook page. So we'll be thinking about them. That's challenging. And as they said on that Facebook post, when that happens, you don't even think about all of the pieces you have to start picking up afterwards,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively, when it comes to stuff like adjustments and insurance and what do you do next, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so, you know, from our standpoint or from my standpoint, I've never been able to meet those people. I've just talked to them, you know, over the phone or in emailing, and they're always just so nice, so wonderful, and such community-oriented people, and they love Lake TV. You know, my heart breaks for them, and I hope they're able to really build everything back strong, maybe even better than it was before.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Eldon, been to that bowling alley many times, and we had been back just a couple years ago, so Brinley had gotten to go bowl there. She loves to bowl.
Really?
You know.
That doesn't
yeah.
surprise me.
Yeah, and hey, speaking of that, before we move on, I did want to give a shout out since we were on vacation. Spencer Wall did a great job. Sierra Smith as well did a great job filling in for us. And like I said, Nathan Bechtold and Representative Jeff Vernetti. But it was nice to get away, and now we're refreshed and ready for the home stretch. And if these headlines, the last, I guess, 8 months, 12 months, 24 months are any indication, it's not slowing down, is it?
No, in fact, it seems to be picking up a little bit. By the way, did you have a good time on vacation?
It was great. We went Branson, we did some sightseeing, we did some amusement park, great eats, swims, all of it. It was
That's
awesome.
so cool. It's fun with a 4-year-old, right? I mean,
Almost
not
5.
a dull moment, especially with Brinley, because she's got so much.
I was going to say
energy.
Andrew is not 4. I was going to say he is 34. And yeah, never a dull moment. We had a great time, and you know, it is always good to get away, and it's also great after you get away to get back, especially where you love where you get back to, right? And what you get back to. And when you guys were on, you and Nathan, last week for Cup of Coffee, you guys got to break the news of the Bass Pro Shop coming to the city of Osage Beach at the Outlet Mall. Johnny Morris, right? He is iconic in the outdoors, and the mega Bass Pro Shop, the outdoor world, is down in Springfield, where they have the Wonders of Wildlife, which is the #1 aquarium in America, voted year after year by USA Today readers. And I was actually there the day the news broke.
Wow.
So that was cool. We love that place anyway. And we're kind of just looking at the response after that story broke on Lake Expo. And then, of course, you guys talked about it in Cup of Coffee. It's just massive, the amount of people who chimed in and had a response in some way.
You know, and the biggest surprise to me is that Bass Pro wasn't here already. I mean, this is the Lake of the Ozarks, you know, like the biggest fishing venue, I think, in the United States of America, and Bass Pro wasn't here, and now they're going to be here. So the shop is coming to the new outlet mall, right? Because they've got new owners and they're putting together the whole new outlet mall thing, and to have Bass Pro Shop as your anchor business in the new outlet mall is just huge. I mean, think of all the other businesses that are now going to want to jump on board that they might have been, I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. And they're going, oh, you mean Bass Pro's? Yes, we're on board. That place is going to blow up. That's going to be just an amazing success. Congratulations to Chris and Dan Foster. Man, good job, guys. You guys have rocked it, and the city for apparently jumping in and helping out and helping get all this done.
Yeah, I think it's cool because it wasn't the easiest road to get here, but the fact is, cooler heads prevailed, and now Lake of the Ozarks appears to be getting a Bass Pro Shop. And when you have, like you said, that is your anchor tenant. Heck, I mean, Lake TV may be moving into the outlet mall I mean, like, that is going to be the most attractive place to be in Missouri, is going to be the Osage Beach Outlet Mall. And as you alluded to, credit to Mayor Michael Harmison and the city of Osage Beach, Cole Bradbury, the city attorney, the Board of Aldermen. This is big. And for the Fosters, wow, congratulations.
Yes. You know, and it's interesting. We recently did several shows with Susan and Peter Brown, right? The Koppler Brown family who helped develop the lake, the Four Seasons and Shawnee Bend and Horseshoe Bend and Portachima, but they talked about people like the Fosters, you know, and how important that family was for the lake, because Buford Foster, Chris's grandfather, really kind of got all of that started, especially in Camdenton. It's fascinating how the families, the big families of the lake, work together to get these things done. And here's another step in that process.
Yeah, can you imagine what that's gonna look like here in 5 to 10 years
Oh, my.
as far as Lake of the Ozarks
Yeah.
as a whole. And so the response was big. Lake Expo's post was shared like 1,300 times as of Tuesday morning. 3,200 reactions, 500 comments. I mean, every media outlet in Missouri had posted about it. And then you talk about the Chick-fil-A news with Bass Pro Shops at the outlet mall, not even talking about the Pin Seekers Top Golf property that may have something coming, the Anglers Outpost Lodge, Oasis Amusement with the indoor water park and Marriott Hotel Conference Center. I mean, I think it's safe to say that the Lake of the Ozarks is on fire.
Oh my gosh. You know, and again, the big surprise to me was that Johnny Morris did not have a Bass Pro Shop here before, but this is scheduled to open in the spring of 2027. That kind of gives you an idea of the time frame for the new outlet mall. So if that is open in the spring of 2027, then we're talking a year and a half from now, that mall is going to be blowing and going. It's going to be a beautiful thing out there.
Which means if they're going to open in 18 months,
Yeah.
Approximately, we should start seeing stuff happen soon.
Yeah.
Because as we know, that is a lengthy process. But some of the questions that we saw online were, how similar will this be to the Springfield one? Of course, in Springfield, you have the big Bass Pro Shops that has been there. You have the aquarium, you have the museum, you have art galleries, different things. But you've also got the one in Columbia that is completely different than the one in Springfield as far as design and what's offered. And so some of the questions are like, I wonder how big and what will the design look like and what will some of the attraction features be, if anything. And so it'll be interesting as we follow this, but this is just the beginning.
And it's going to be big, 75,000 square feet for this Bass Pro Shop. And the mothership is obviously in Springfield. They've got the aquarium there. I don't know how big that is, but 75,000 square feet is going to be a big Bass Pro Shop. And
that doesn't seem like that big.
it's amazing. Yeah, it does.
75,000 square foot?
They put it together real well, and they've got that really nice restaurant at the one in Springfield. I forget what they call it. Yeah, Hemingway's. Yeah, which is good. We've eaten there a few times. I'm betting there probably will be something like that at this one too. So, but it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Listen, and part of that vacation we just went on, I tell you that we went there, the one in Springfield, because we love wonders of wildlife. It's an aquarium as part of that Johnny Morris built, and it has been voted, as I said, the #1 aquarium in America numerous times, and you could spend 3 to 4 hours walking through that before you even get to the museum. And so that's what has me so excited, because I've seen what they do, Top of the Rock, Big Cedar Lodge. Those are all Johnny Morris properties and developments. And so now that that's starting at Lake of the Ozarks, the Bass Pro Shop at the Osage Beach Outlet Mall.
And since you're basically a pro angler, a pro fisherman, you and Johnny Morris probably going to be tight.
Listen, so there is a angler who is a pro, something Scanlon, and he was posted on his social media. The guy's got a massive following. He just finalized on his lakefront property, his massive home down here. And so he's bought a house at Lake of the Ozarks. And I don't think that's going to be the first angler you see relocating or moving here, buying a house down here, because you have Anglers Outpost Lodge, you have Bass Pro Shops. Like Lake of the Ozarks was already a fishing mecca, outdoors mecca. Well, the future looks bright in regards to fishing and outdoors and hunting.
It makes me wonder if maybe it was Johnny Morris that bought that Anheuser-Busch property over there. I mean, that's a 36-acre facility over there.
No, they're breaking that off into lots.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're breaking that off.
I figured that'd be Johnny over there.
That would have been ideal. So just a crazy headline, and people responded. Now, the only negative that I really saw was just the concern for the small bait and tackle outdoor shops, the small family businesses. One in mind is Fitz Fishing, and I thought of that too, but that is part of it. And when you look at, you say big box stores, I don't really consider Bass Pro Shops, because of Johnny Morris. He still has that small Missouri, feel.
The local thing.
When you think mom and pop, no, Bass Pro Shops isn't really mom and pop, but I mean, it's about as close as a mom and pop as you can be to grow to what Bass Pro Shops has grown to. So I did take that in consideration, but I think it's going to be massive. And man, people are still buzzing about it this morning.
Absolutely. And hopefully the locals will be able to adjust what they're doing, because people aren't going to go all the way into the outlet mall, if they need this or that or the next thing. So hopefully the smaller local ones will be well positioned to be, to even grow from the added growth that this is going to bring.
Potentially partner with, collaborate with, who knows. But all right, so hey, this is cool. We've told you about Cam Durnin.
Yep.
We love our local high school athletes, and the Durnin family has had a plethora of impressive athletes the last few years.
Yep.
None more impressive than Cam Durnin. Of course, first reporting was the LOZ Sports Network, but he apparently had a massive summer.
Yeah, he had a batting average over 400, which is huge. That never happens. So he had the summer season batting average of 407, highest batting average in team history. Also set a new league record for the most RBIs in a single season, and this is for the Kingsport Axemen in the Appalachian League. So they do these summer leagues, right, for these players in college that want to play pro, and so they get this extra, playing time in. And I do believe they play with wood bats too, like you do in the major leagues. So, and even more exciting than all of that for me is that he's coming to play for the Mizzou Tigers. I think he's been playing for Wichita State the last few years, and now he's going to be back home with Mizzou. It's so cool for the whole Durnin family. Dad was their high school coach at Camdenton, did a great job. Mom worked in the system locally, helping, teach kids careers and stuff with the LCTC, I think it is. So just fantastic stuff. Happy for the Durnin family.
And this isn't like a small deal. In case you're wondering, what is the Appalachian League? It was founded in 1911. And it's a collegiate summer baseball league that operates in the Appalachian regions of Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and North Carolina. And it is designed for rising freshmen and sophomores, as you said, using wooden bats. And its season runs from June through August. And I had heard of it a lot because when you watch Major League Baseball broadcasts, they'll talk about a prospect that's currently in the minor leagues, and why he got promoted was because of he tore it up this summer in the Appalachian League.
Yeah.
And it is something that the pros watch closely. And so he tore it up. And as you said, he is transferring to Mizzou for his junior season. So he's projected to be Mizzou's starting shortstop.
Yep.
Right. And the ex-Wichita State shortstop, he hit .258 with 9 home runs and 60 RBIs with Wichita State. So he can rake, he can play defense, and I fully anticipate that he will one day be playing in the bigs.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's on that track. And that Appalachian League, if you've ever seen the movie Bull Durham, that's kind of basically what the Appalachian League is like. They travel in buses, and, there's a whole lot of hijinks that go on and stuff, but that's very cool. Have you seen that movie, Bull Durham? Oh, you should watch
No, I need to watch it. But it doesn't matter where Cam Durnin goes. He literally puts up big numbers and creates headlines, and enough that, headed to Mizzou. Let's hope he can help out
I wonder
there.
if his brothers are going to join him at Mizzou. He's got 2 brothers that also play major college baseball, so it'd be cool to get the whole brotherhood there.
Yeah, that whole family can definitely compete. All right, so hey, don't want to lose sight of, we haven't been talking about it a lot recently, but Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton has his next hearing scheduled for August 21st.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about it, but his team, they motioned a file to dismiss charges on June 12th. And so this hearing, August 21st in Camden County at 2 p.m. includes a motion to dismiss on the docket entry. And so we'll find out from the Honorable Judge Aaron John Martin in just a couple of weeks the fate of Camden County Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton. And in case you're wondering, Skelton is represented by Kimberly Benjamin out of Felton, Missouri, and the special prosecutor assigned to the case is Nicholas Komorowski. So I tried to get Presiding Commissioner Skelton in for an interview the next couple of weeks before this date. He's got a lot of stuff going on, and so we weren't able to get him in, but we're going to keep in touch, and we'll follow that closely. But you almost lose sight of that, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about that, the whole license plate reader thing where He took down a license plate reader. The state did not like that and charged him with some stuff. And so you've got all this rigmarole going on. Hopefully for the town of Camdenton and the county, they'll get that settled. The dust will clear. And because that kind of has just been a thorn in the side of the whole county works for the last year, I think.
Sure. Yeah, we need everybody on the same page, and it's not going to be good for Camden County, if those felonies were to stand.
Yeah.
He would be ineligible to be our presiding commissioner, or the presiding commissioner of Camden County. So best case scenario, and I think this is feasible, like this is possible and plausible, that both felonies would be dropped and that he would plea to something misdemeanor, but that's just something that, I think could happen. Now, it's still to be determined. That date coming up in a couple weeks on the 21st, 2 p.m., Camden County, Honorable Judge Aaron John Martin will determine the fate for Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton.
Yeah.
We'll be following closely.
Absolutely. I'm a fan of Ike, so
Yeah.
I hope that turns out well.
It's hard not to be a fan of Ike. Not everybody always agrees with the how or the what, but you cannot argue that Ike Skelton believes this is what the people elected him to do, and that he is tired of big government bureaucracy overreaching in what he claims to be infringing on the rights of the citizens of Camden County. And a lot of citizens are standing behind their presiding commissioner. And so it'll be interesting. We'll keep you guys posted and follow this case closely.
Absolutely.
All right, speaking of legalese and stuff in a courtroom.
Yeah.
So, hey, you big Chiefs fans, right? There's been a lawsuit filed that could challenge Missouri's effort to keep the Chiefs in the Show Me State.
Yeah, of course, this has been the big question for the last couple of years. Where are the Chiefs going to play their games in the future? Are they going to stay at Arrowhead in Missouri? There's been a lot of talk lately that they were going to build a whole new place on the Kansas side of Kansas, Missouri. You got the big racetrack, you got the big Cabela's Bass Pro over there. You got room for a football stadium, and the Royals were talking about that too. So as the Chiefs plan between where they're going to go, whether it's going to be Arrowhead or to Kansas, according to KCTV5.com, a lawsuit has now been filed regarding Missouri's funding plan to renovate Arrowhead Stadium to try to keep the Chiefs in Missouri. So the quote here is, "The appropriations described in the bill are a direct gift or bribe to the owners of the Chiefs and the Royals to stay in Missouri." This is what the lawsuit challenges. The lawsuit filed by 2 Missouri legislators and a private citizen. It argues that the law is unconstitutional. Okay, so all this is way up in the air. The Attorney General is constitutionally obligated to defend the laws enacted by the people of Missouri through their elected representatives. A spokesperson for Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey said, "Our office is currently reviewing the lawsuit." So this is serious. I mean, Andrew Bailey has said, "We're looking at this. We're going to take a serious look at this, see if there's anything to this." And while sometimes it takes a while to figure these things out, it'll be important for the Chiefs, if they're going to move forward and stay in Missouri, to have this figured out before they make that decision, right?
Sure.
So it's big.
Yeah, the 2 legislators, Mike Moon, senator from District 29, and Bryant Wolfen, representative for District 145, and the private citizen is Ron Calzone. But they feel like this has legs, and the legislators, the quote that they said, literally alleges that they're bribing the Chiefs or giving them a direct gift to stay there. But that's exactly what these incentive deals are. This is exactly what they do with these teams and these stadiums. And so even if this were to be successful and the Chiefs were to decide, hey, Kansas is offering us everything, let's go build there, it's only going to be a matter of time before somebody in the state of Kansas files the exact same lawsuit
because
that
Kansas
says,
is doing the same
look
thing.
at what you rolled out for them to build here.
Yeah.
And so this does have legs, and it wasn't exactly a bold defense of the new law by the Missouri Attorney General's office when they said that the Attorney General is constitutionally obligated to defend the laws and that they're currently looking into it. I mean, that might be what they have to say, but that does make it look like this has legs. And so it'll be interesting to see. But this is the Chiefs and the Royals. And as you said, they want to be confident before they decide. However,
Yeah.
if they were to go to Kansas, like I said, somebody in the state of Kansas,
Do the same
senators,
thing.
state representatives could file a lawsuit.
And that would change the way all pro sports do things, because this is how all pro sports teams get new stadiums. They do get, state money and local money and all that stuff. You could consider all of it a bribe, basically, to keep the teams there. So that'll be fascinating.
All right, very good. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. And football season is right around the corner.
Wow.
So
preseason games already.
yeah, we'll be talking about that here in the coming weeks. But hey, Cannonball Run 2025, what you need to know, it's coming up. It's a high-energy, community-driven event that offers participants the chance to win up to $50,000 cash. There's going to be two $25,000 winners. That's where your ears perk up. Well, you have to register. It's a $250 one-time registration fee. All money goes to support local charities. And the premise is shop local, win big. So like I said, you register for $250. Here's the cool thing. Now till August 16th, there's $50 off. Go to CaptainRonsAtTheLake.com. Sign up for $200. And then everything from August 16th, start saving your receipts through August 23rd, gets you save those receipts, and every $500 you spend, Uncle Chris, it can be gas, groceries, heck, if you close on your house, if you buy a car or a boat, or you might wait, if you want to participate, you get a poker hand when you register, and then every $500 in receipts you turn in gets you an extra poker hand, up to 20 additional poker hands. They're going to draw one winner on Friday, draw one winner on Saturday, meaning two $25,000 cash prizes, and they're raising big money for local charities. It's taking place at Captain Ron's as well as Camden on the Lake, and it's in conjunction with Super Cat Fest and Super Cat Fest for Kids. It's going to be great. And the one event that I'm really excited about, Thursday, August 21st, you can run your own car at the International Speedway on 135.
Are you going to do that?
Well, no, my car's not impressive. What, my Ford Edge family vehicle that's falling apart? No.
Your minivan?
But if you have a vehicle, you can drive that almost 7-mile course, professionally. They're going to have stuff set up, but that was pretty cool. Lots of music. There's going to be vendor village that weekend set up. So go to CaptainRonsAtTheLake.com. Lake TV is a proud partner of this event, and we'll have some great coverage because they're going to be revealing two $25,000 winners Saturday night at the Super Cat Fest for Kids live auction. So we're going to be at that event Saturday night. Looking real forward to that. Should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the Lake of the Ozarks just keeps growing and growing and growing. So this year, not only do you have the shootout, but you got the big Cannonball Run happening that same week. So big stuff, man.
All right. So as we wrap up this week, I wanted to add a new segment each week. The Jesus Calling Weekly Devotional, something that my buddy Chad Brewer had started sending me every morning, and it had been super helpful. And so each week I'm going to take my favorite one from the previous week and share it with you guys. Watch your words diligently. Words have such great power to bless or to wound. When you speak carelessly or negatively, you damage others as well as yourself. This ability to verbalize is an awesome privilege, granted only to those I create in my image. You need help in wielding this mighty power responsibly. Though the world applauds quick-witted retorts, my instructions about communication are quite different. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Ask my Spirit to help you whenever you speak. I have trained you to pray, help me, Holy Spirit. Before answering the phone, and you have seen the benefits of this discipline, simply apply the same discipline to communicating with people around you. If they are silent, pray before speaking to them. If they are talking, pray before responding. These are split-second prayers, but they put you in touch with my presence. In this way, your speaking comes under the control of my Spirit as positive speech patterns replace your negative ones. The increase in your joy will amaze you. And some scripture to back that up. Reckless words pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Proverbs 12:18. My dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. James 1:19. And lastly, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Ephesians 4:29. I know I needed that and thought that was super awesome. The most important thing we could ever do is getting to know Jesus, and that is the first and most important thing. So as we wrap up this week and look at what's on Lake TV, Uncle C, you got Casey and Dan Caldwell.
Yeah.
Part 3.
Casey and the Round Man, just legends at the lake for their radio shows in past years. So watch that, it's fun.
That and high school football right around the corner. That's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake.